Hey guys, it's time coming at you with another game of Total War 3 Kingdoms, and we are here popping the gate pass. And, well, you know, we're drawing the guys out of the gate pass, which is good. Now, our army's a little beat up, but not terribly beat up. It's just all of our cavalry are in bad shape, right? And we have a very wooded map to fight on. But it's not so bad. We know a lot of their reinforcements are coming from there, and we know that they are a couple of strategists, so we're going to be able to bully them very badly. And he is... I'm like, is he fast enough to get... Yeah, they don't have any cavalry right here, right? So we're going to start the battle with him on that side. Do we want to vanguard more? No, because this is okay. Just a little bit to get out of the trees is nice, though, right? Yeah. And then we'll melt them as they come in. Don't have fire arrows there. Do have... fire arrows here. Handmade guard with them, and yeah, alright, so just move our guys up, and here, you know, we're just gonna be taking shots. They're both level 1. But again, I don't think they can really catch us. Sentinels have, like, shields in this mod pack, I think. So, we're just gonna chip away at them there. And they don't really have many spears here, so... Oh, well, the peasant warriors do have glaives. I don't know if they can knock it off, though. Anyway, we're not really hitting them, are we? I mean, he's got a lot of ammo, but maybe we're not getting shots, you know. Maybe we need to go a little closer. Come a little bit closer, but don't hit the place. Yeah, because we've got... yeah, Cheng Pu gives 33% melee attack rate to, you know... to the generals, so very, very punchy stuff. Of course, on horseback, you're mainly limited by not your swing speed, but your physical placement vis-a-vis animations, but... yeah, and you know, the cavalry's here, so we're gonna bounce. I mean, we got enough damage in there. That was a good thing, and importantly, you know, you don't have to... you don't have to throw it all away like I always do. You know, you can provoke the cavalry. Trebuchet the cavalry, and here they're on the charge order for the wrong characters, so we charge into the side, and then, you know, they are very distracted by their desire to hit the strategist, and instead they get melted. Glorious. Yeah, and even through the trees, you know, a great result from the Trebs. But of course, now yet more cavalry is coming up, but just going to get into position to deal with it. Start trying to take some shots at the Qiang Marauders, who we know will not be as easy a nut to crack as what we just did. But, you know, they are not resistant to arrows or anything. We just need to make sure that our cavalry is deep enough to support them. They don't really have high quality stuff here at all, so even with our trebs firing at like unwise targets, I almost don't want to tell them to stop, because I mean, if it's working. I lost sight of their cav. I think it's over here, and that means we're just gonna push the middle with our heroes. Not least because, well, there they are. These are untried nobles. There are 60 in the model. Well, we're just gonna push through then, because this is all the cav they have. Yeah, and if they wanna chase us rather than helping out their guys, that's cool with me. Harass continues apace. Now we can start popping shots into the Marauders here. At least we know where the cav is again. And here, a whole lot of the archers split off. Exactly what you want to see, right? Exactly what you want to see. And before we're even truly engaged, taking some shots at the Qiang Marauders here with the strategist. Not really paying off. We're going to turn fire at will off. We don't want to get too far afield. You know, this harass has been great, but we want to be able to meet the foe when they get here. Of course, burning the trees down is excellent. Exactly what we want to see. Just trying to make sure we push through not the spears, and we do indeed do it. And this downhill here is going to be pretty nice. We get sandwiched here by the Marauders. I mean, there are spears, but they're still not going to be happy about this, but the cataphracts showing up is absolutely going to be what we need. And here, we're going to pull the cav through and bust this whole center open. And now Zhao Ren is going to go here and get on these bandit warriors, and so too... Oh no, the cataphracts got to stay in, huh? Haha, there we go. Qingpu gets a duel off to pull this guy out of the blob. And now the cataphracts can go in here to support. But all through the trees, they're on fire. Qingpu is going to rip this dude's face off. And, I mean, it might take a second, but he's going to win. He's going to win handily. The Tiger Cubs are getting beat up, but not because we're in a bad spot with them, I don't think. I think it's honestly just because they came into it pretty beat up. Yeah, I don't feel like that was a terrible engagement for them to be in. We just need to keep this flank from getting around the back. Their cavalry is taken care of. And Qingpu, exemplar. I mean, hitting 42 times a turn. This dude, you know, he swings 36. He swings fast too, but he doesn't have... Yeah, an ounce of the reductive power that we've got out of Qingpu. 6960 is great. 6966 is insane. Evasion armor stats like that, so good. And of course being a sentinel, Yeah, blocks attacks too. And now these axes almost get on to our guys. Our troops finally run out of ammo. The archers of Jing, of course, are gonna happily shoot forever. I love this faction that we have built. And this isn't even its final form. But they're all about to be running now, and what a sweet army. Oh man, you know, these Imperial Guards, they get it done. Well, some of them do. One of them has some kills. I believe in them, okay? It doesn't matter how good they do. Or 300 kills on these archers and 10 ammo left. Wow. Of course, we got unarmored, unshielded dudes, but you still gotta love a feast like that. And we have Victoria. Man, look at him just running through there. You know, sometimes the animation they give you is good. And they don't really have any good units here, but, you know, we might as well chase some of them off. Alright. That dude wanted the duel. He did not know what he was getting into. Jingpu's a monster, right? That exemplar ability to make him and all of your other allied generals swing 33% faster, that's real good. I like this guy, you know, he's a scholar.
对他们严加处罚，满怀信念，奋力一战。
But this isn't our erstwhile people, and we can march here, yeah. Because it looks like they're trying to get back in time, but like, you know, Liu Bei's army is going to be up in no time too, and like we're not playing about this. Like, you're not the emperor. We may not know where he is right now, but we know it's not you, dude who worked for me until yesterday. Outrageous. But we need to send one more spy here, if we can. Why not? You, buddy. Spend a lot on the cover action. Almost didn't make it. That would have been too bad. Oh, he's coming to help out. Well, that's nice. Of course, if your garrison could go and fight the rebellion, normally it would make rebellions a lot less annoying, but... And, you know... Man, he is getting into the cookie jar a little bit. Well, not too far, though. I mean, worst is he takes the armor crafter for 1 turn. That's pretty annoying. It's not that bad in the grand scheme. And, of course, he's quite far from home, and we've got, you know, a sort of capable no-cav army on its way to make him upset. But the thing is they're not going to have anybody to back this up because this guy's quite far from home, and it takes a while to get back to Yong'an there. And, oh, awesome! Zhang Chao has gotten lands again, so if we can...
Biao.
Yeah, we can go ahead and give him Lin Yuan there, and... Do you have any stuff? Nobody ever has any stuff. They're always wearing all of it. Yeah, we'll just give this to him. And we just want to keep an eye on him, but we should be able to keep him alive now. And this is awesome, right? Because if we get him here, and we can, you know, and then now we've got a couple vassals in the middle between us and Meng Huo, who's not going to have like a comfy time getting out of here. Which is awesome. The further from us he is, the better, right? And he, you know, he's far from home. He's still being a menace, but, you know, we've dealt with the immediate danger, or so it feels. Assignment time. I mean, getting her to level 2 would be very nice. Fundamentally, we can make it work with militia with her. Like, are we ready to spin up an army for her right now? If so, who shall we send? I think we can just send her on a mission real quick. Because, I mean, we could just put Wenping in there, right? You know, why not? But, because he's level 7, and that's not the story we're telling. Oh, surplus markets. That's super good. Because you just lose reserves, but, I mean, like, we can... Yeah. More money, more money. 26 assignments. Love it. Love it. All right. So let's get an army together. Oh, wait, no, we put her on assignment. Well. I mean, she has the big bonus ammo, so we can totally use her just as, like, an archer. We can use her as the strategist and then use Sun Chuan in there. Or somebody else for the Trebs. Because he's not the only Sun brother, right? But, I mean, we could, yeah, just do her there, and then, like, Sun Tzu, Sun Chuan, and her to run around. I actually kind of love that, don't I? I mean, that's fun. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Well, then we'll just wait for her assignment to click over, because we need her to get level 2. Although we could do it with, like, you know, anything else, but... Alright, alright. Now over here, Cao Cao... No, not Cao Cao. We've played a trap worthy of him, and Yuan Shao is in the river, like, stuck here. He does not want to be here. We're going to have to auto him because he's in the river, but... And of course he runs away, but now he's in the river. And brutally, we get a sandwich delegate between, that's right, the Imperial Army and Huang Chong of the Yangtze, or rather, the Army of the Kingdom, led by the Gentlemen of the Han. It's not the Empire yet, you know. And, you know, these old friends who separated years and years ago to pursue, you know, stability in various parts of the realm, now meet here against our most hated foe, Yuan Shao, preeminent commander. Maybe we'll get the lunchbox out of him. And in the wintertime too, you know, he must have thought he was safe. Let me grab a bow out of it and a horse out of it. And this guy is oath-sworn to Yuan Shao and only level 1. The more level 1s that you leave with your enemy, the better, right? And then we jump back up here. I feel like we should... Yeah. I mean, because that was perfect. That was perfect. We mousetrapped him onto the river and popped him. A brilliant little move. Of course, it won't do that much damage to him, but hey, nobody likes their faction leader to be defeated in battle. It makes everybody upset. And here we can confederate the last vestige of the Han. I don't know if we should, though, because if we can't defend it, you know, then why? I mean, it is not too far from where our lands are about to be, obviously, but... I guess this rebellion tried to rebel at, like, the pass or something, which didn't go super well for it. I mean, should we get trips on Liu Bei, though? I mean, probably. I mean, at least one. Yeah. I don't want to drop these special guys, because I think they're pretty cool. You know, you hate to drop a special unit. If you're me, that's what you hate. You know, he doesn't like the idea of being a vassal at all, but, you know, you might see things our way later. The Kingdom of Yi might not get to abdicate because they might run out of all of their stuff, but like what a hilarious great move for them. And Yuan chases her out there. We're just gonna stay right here and keep on mess with this, and we might just move in on Liu Jun now if we feel like we can do it safely, because Liu Pan's about to be back in the heartland here, right? Well, everything is going pretty good. Let's go see if we can spend some money on stuff real quick. Why don't, man, our corruption is out of control. Just keep on pumping. Everything Hulao Pass doesn't need to go. Character experience, pretty desirable. Go. Yeah, at least that one makes money, some. But you know, what an embarrassment of riches to have, right? But having smoothed out a little of this over here and this over here, at least our borders are relatively tidy. We're holding on to this just for the food, of course. Yanbaihu will hopefully be stymied by our forces over here, but I mean, we very well might spin up the Sun army here just to get the special units and then re-recruit it down over here, and then they can, you know, go and eliminate Yanbaihu, who I believe has a big personal grudge against the family. And I'm sure they would enjoy taking care of that. Wherever the old man is, I'm sure he'd like that too. So with this army, we could... No, we don't want to try to make landfall there. I think we want to go over here, cross the river, and grab Hine, and then do that. But, you know, with just one army over here to hold it, that would be fine. But who do we leave? These are questions. And I kind of want to upgrade it just because it's cool, and the extra upkeep doesn't... I mean, what's another 50, right? What's not a little bit of building upkeep? Oh, this person's in the range, yeah.
坚如盾牌，势如利刃。我绝不动摇，目标明确。
我绝不动摇。
Because anywhere we make landfall on that side would be good. I mean, the other way would be to go all the way around. But we might need to spin off an army over there to Kongrong's lands and get it. Alternately, we confederate. They're having us 28 food. No. No way, great conqueror, man. No way. You know, we're something of a great conqueror ourselves.
如此，足下定能满意。深思熟虑，则事半功倍。
Oh, and we get a victory out of the auto. I mean, obviously we we get what we deserve, a victory out of the auto.
放了他们，都放了吧。
So I mean that's perfect because you know they well they were desperate too because they had to try to take a fight because the Yupan's right behind them. And Sun Shi has now taken over their faction. Interesting. Did he get confederated? He must have done. But maybe not. And a daughter has been born. Joyous day. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Experience for Sunren roll. I'll take population here.
朕就不该准你们进谏。
有话快说。
Oh, so he's allied with Gongsun and stuff. Well, that is interesting. Well, it looks like making landfall on the other side is no longer really a concern because we need to be worried about all of these armies coming through. Alright, so... Well, you know, one thing at a time, right? How quickly can they crack in here? Probably pretty well. We need to send someone to help. Man, I really should have confederated that guy. Can we just...
威武不屈。
坚如盾牌，势如利刃。
like, you know, I guess we're just gonna...
智略所指，我之所在。 不，怒吼吧！
行动如一，
智如流水。
You know, the thing is, I mean, can we get across?
统一行进。
No!
向前进军。
Oh my god.
振作起来，
All right, there we
齐
go.
心协力。
我军必胜。做好准备，深谋远虑，万万不可。
All right, we got there. We're in.
三思而
And now these fools are on the wrong side of the river. Alright, we need to get an army spun up. We can replace somebody into it later as need might be. Sun Tzu, the Little Conqueror. Welcome home, buddy. You're fighting in the north now,
全不
friend.
息。 坚持不懈。 万物已然复苏。
Well... Like another soon? No, no. Yeah, here we go.
待时而发。
And then ooh, this guy will just, you know, we'll swap the army around real quick. Oh, we're in the wrong place for it because it's local to the Jade area. Well, that's okay. Get our die-hard warriors there. You know, why not a couple of them? Well, because we're up against... Well, you know, all the more reason to have these guys if we're up against a guy like Yuan Shao, right? Oh, my man! 4 White Horse Raiders, that's right. That's this guy. That's this guy with this retinue. Well, you know, good stuff. Alright, so obviously he just needs some heavy cataphracts, and then we're gonna get what yeah, the impetuous lancers are not good. They're just the thing you get here. We got heavy amount of archers, but not crossbows. I guess here, just the archers are jigging. I mean, it's fine to do. This is a bad... This army's weird and awkward. It doesn't matter. You know, this army exists so that we can get another army getting over here. Because we have a lot of power, just a ton of power in the north, and it doesn't all need to be there.
势如狂澜。
Yeah, I guess we give him the celestial sword because it's, you know, it's the classiest one.
满怀信念，奋力一战。
Yeah, I guess this on Ganning is fine for the moment. I mean, he's not really like respectable enough to carry this, but it's okay. Well, no, we already have an armor sundering here.
Ju 气凝神。
心怀忠正，目标只有一个。
Yeah, we'll work it out. All right, tech. And down this way we get seasonal retinues, but not army counts. Oh, down here you get one army. Oh, never mind. You get more armies from going down this tree. Okay, so every year we can get more armies by going down the red tree. Good. But first we're going to take the towers. But that's going to really tie the room together, you know.
有话快说。摆好阵势，准备出击。 正在行进，准备作战。我军必胜，准备伏击。
I mean, we don't need to ambush. They're not going to come out at us. And if they do, you know, that'll be a great opportunity to lay the beat down. Because otherwise, you know, we're about to be enemy at the gates on them here. They're not going to have a great time. And of course, a little stabby-stab on the yellow turbans, and they are dealt with. And the one trebuchet, of course, crucial to let us get single-turn sieging on these big places. Very crucial for the tempo. And God of War gets to level 7. At level 8, of course, he will get to the ability God of War, and we will all be like, wow, that's so much damage! I basically never get to use it. It does 50k damage. You use it once, you know, but it's like, blow! You're not allowed to use it if you're on an elephant. But we're about to have a brawl here. But that's if they're brave enough to attack. Because, you know, they may not even... Yeah, no night battle here. They do have night battle here. But if they do a night battle, then they only get to bring one of their forces, right? And none of these armies, even the ones in March, none of these armies are ones that they want to be messing with. Well, it's time to call the vassals to arms. This is going to make Gongsun Zan another front in this war, and hopefully he can... I mean, I'm sure, because we're involved now, right? It's not like we're throwing him to the wolves here. We're involved, and the bulk of his forces are here on the Yellow River now, so... on the Yellow River. Very precise. It's only the long one. I'm like, yeah, I know which one's the Yellow River. I just say it wrong all the time. I'm not ignorant. I'm just stupid. Alright. So we are setting the stage for quite a fun brawl here. And, of course, if he doesn't engage and runs away, then we can just pull him apart piecemeal. Because 3 armies are a little overkill, but not really when you're trying to go across the river. You do, I mean, it's, what, 10,000 men?
冷静沉着。
I mean, yeah, just 6,000. It's hardly enough for an invasion force. We just happen to have pretty good visibility on where they are. And this is pretty inconvenient for them. For all we know, with this war now, right, he might leave because now, I mean, you see this horse up there? Man, Gongsun Zan sees that horse tamer, and he's like, I like a horse. I'd love a horse tamer. Here, and we just want to keep well, he's already working on there, so all right. Here's Chen Luigi here with Ma Yunlu. Oh yeah, we'll just yeah, we're not going to be pussyfooting around here. We're going to come in here, besiege it. And march our other army up behind it. It's a little beat up still, right? However, I think this is fine. You know, we'll have the trebs here. They either let us siege it, in which case fine, and we're there, and we stop them getting in, and these guys are, I mean, Liu Bei is going to be knocking on their door next turn anyway, so if only it were possible to absorb, because I don't think they knew when they took it they were going to automatically become the emperor. They weren't ready for all that, but it still is very insulting.
威加海内，乱世随定。见识一下我们的激情。烈火燎原。We
don't have supplies there, but Saimao, trying to pull it all together again. Liu Pan here, it's nice having Mingzhi in such a state, and we're just gonna go in here and play Whack-a-Humao. What a bad neighbor. The game, he was fine for a long time. He probably got nervous or something. It's no excuse. Oh my god, we're already doing that one here. That's one of the kids, I think, grown up. Like, you know, there are so many important children in our family here. These are all the Yupans who have not grown up yet, and the first one actually isn't even in our faction, which is very sad. I'll have to bring her home one of these days. And then Liu Chong's children with Tong Yuri, of course. Like, maybe this guy's somebody else's kid, right? He is 28. Oh, I think he just was a guy that we generated with a random, Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Well, you know, they are willing to be spies, so that is good. Alright, alright. And next year we'll have a couple of the other girls grow up, and of course we're going to need to assign them out, because level 2 is just so important. Liu Pan gets Strider for his boys. Beautiful stuff. And we continue doing those builds. I mean, there's still like academies we could be doing for even more experience everywhere. But, alright. What army? Ah, Yuan and Yangtze, of course. And at long last, Tongji is almost going to be taken care of. Almost. Our man here gets Earth and Rampart, very nice, and then this is an awesome development with Zhang Chao getting his lands in there, right? Because especially, oh my goodness, well, pay no attention to the thunder, but if my computer stops working, it's because the sky. Yes, because the sky. Yeah, so they're at war with me, but not with our new vassals, which is just what we want, like, because not being at war with the Zhongs and stuff means they walk over their land, losing military supplies the whole way on their way in. It's perfect. And from their perspective, they're just, like, getting to walk over it, and they're like, haha, look at these fools, we're trampling all over the grain. But really, it's good for us. And, like, that guy's still an enemy of the Han, according to this Imperial intrigue, but, you know. Ba-da-dum-bum. Ba-da-dum. Gained the formidable trait. Oh, yeah. So some people only have a couple of traits. Jue and Liu has 6 traits. I mean, he is maimed, which is too bad. Honorable, you know, he likes to spare in duels, that's good. Cheerful, fraternal, intimidating, and formidable. He is the god of war. Shall we give him a title? The coiled dragon would give him 25% health. I mean, do we need to give that to him, though? Because maybe we could give that to somebody else. I mean, I do love him the most. Yeah, we'll name him the Iron General. Well, it gives a ton of expertise in cunning. You know, Master of the Hunt's good too. I mean, but it's wasted on, you know. I mean, speaking of, Liu Bei needs a title, you know. Yes, the General of the Front. There we go. Well, man, it's just such a good map. And that's the thing about conquering Wu very early, is if you've got your foothold right here, it's an incredibly rich province that's pretty dang hard to get into from any direction. But if your enemy has their foothold there, well, the same things, of course, are true for them. Oh yeah, perfection. Gongsun moves down. I mean, yeah, obviously this war is fine and good, actually. Because with Gongsun, with Yuan Shao, with Yuan Shao going so far down here, and then Gongsun distracted him up here, and that's exactly what happened. Immediately, Gongsun rips up and takes that horse trader. You know my man loves his horses. And now with him trying to back out to try to deal with it, we've already made landfall. He's going to get busted up. It's going to be great. And under our umbrella of vassalage, we have this awesome secure position in the middle of China, and all of these places where, you know, we're on the front. It doesn't even happen to us. Nighttime raids there. I'm like, do any of our guys have fire arrows? Alright, a couple of them do. I mean, we could do it now. I mean, all we have to do is get inside. Yes, why delay one more day? Now that we're here, it's time for us to show these pretenders what the real Hongdi looks like. Now, they'll have Bastion artillery. Oh, this one's, our siege has already damaged some of the towers because of, because of our general effects. We already get to do this sometimes, and that's, pretty nice. Now, the Bastion artillery will be not on this front at all, and that is just perfection for us. Now, do we want to come in here? I mean, the reinforcements will be here. I feel like this is the best way to do it. And we'll just drop the ram. We don't really need the ram. We should have got another tower. I mean, do we just go for the wall? I don't think that's good. We'll drop the siege equipment and go get it later if it seems like it would be smart to get it. Because we don't have, like, formations here. Not in this army. Well, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, because all we gotta do is find a way to get in. And we've got trebuchets. And Lu Bu will stand out here, shouting a challenge, being like, hey, y'all having a laugh? Would you think this was a game? What's up? What's up? Name's Lu Bu. Pleased to meet ya. I want to talk to the guy who's in charge. And you probably want me to talk to him too. Man, I cannot wait till I get Imperial Palace crossbowmen in Huang Zhong's army. They're gonna be demolishing everything. Well, that was quite a flash. I don't know if that was the lightning inflicting itself on my brain or the lights flickering, but it might all be over now, baby blue. Oh, it could be the final countdown, ba-da-dum-bum, for us all here today. The drums of war beat. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit. I'm like, wait, do I, like, outrange these towers? No, I think we'll be right. I mean, maybe we'll be right at range with them, yeah. Still, we only have the 1 unit of fire arrows. It will be enough, though. $15 treb shots, pretty good. We're just going to move them into position to try to get into just where we want to be. Because they're, like, entirely defending the city center as far as we can see, which is, like, you know, good for them. Alright, the Merc Archers get a good bit shot up here. You know, they don't... We should have put them on shield wall, maybe. I think yeah, our block chance was too high. Maybe... Maybe a lower one would have been good. But there we go. We get that. And that's what we really need anyway. Yeah, and I mean, I guess we just keep on picking them apart. All right, 54 minutes left on the siege. We can probably win a siege in 54 minutes. And of course, they have 2 stacks from the garrison and then a little bit more from their own thing. I don't think we need to crack a wall here, right? We can just, like, walk up to the tower. And we can hit the bolt crossbow from the side even, but yeah, let's... It's about time to work, boys. Because too, if we can... Yeah, their crossbows are gonna cover most of this, right? But worst comes to it, you know... No, I mean, we will be fine. We've got tons of pull here, and, you know, the Bastion artillery being on all the sides of the wall that we're not going to go on, that's pretty good, too. You know, the annoying thing is that this is where a Yeah, and this is where the fort wall was damaged already anyway from the earlier thing, which, like, what a good ability, right? Alright, let's slow it down. We're playing for real now. Because Imperial Palace crossbows are, like, real good at staying alive, but... Alright, here we go. Into the cookie jar, baby! Because these guys are not ready. Anybody want to duel Lu Bu? No? Oh, surprising. Y'all should have given up ages ago. They're both Oathsworn going to kick. It ain't going to matter. My boys are unflappable. Speaking of unflappable, Lu Bu needs to get here on these Imperial Palace crossbows. The Palace crossbows. Oh, these are Merc Archers. The only ones with fire arrows are the ones that we have trading with the Imperial Palace crossbowmen. That's okay. They'll probably live through it a little bit. Now, we just need to be careful that they don't pull us into spears, which they almost do, but don't quite do. Oh, unfortunately, the other group of infantry is still in here. Well, that's okay. It's about to get acrimonious up in here. Let's get the Trebs inside, right? Yeah.
前进，鼓起勇气。敌军诡计多端，竟然设伏于此。停住，做好准备。
Alright, and we managed to not get unhorsed somehow. Alright, oh, look at this. This is a plum group of things to punch. Zhang Liao has Roar, which is like the most fun sentence.
准备好了，刀枪不入，准备就绪。感受我的愤怒吧！哈，敌军士兵正在溃逃，停住，加快速度，给我杀！顽强不屈。
Because it's not like we're evenly matched. We brought 2 armies here, and the army they had inside was already beat up, but look at all of these ranged units. Assuming we don't get unhorsed on these glaives. I mean, ain't that just the most beautiful thing you ever saw? And our archers are going to be taking up spots on the wall, which is going to give them this line of sight that they need to be hilarious. And Zhao Ren, eager for tales of his bravery to reach the King of Chu, you know, who will soon be emperor.
离胜利又近了一步。
Because the great thing here, right, is they are all funneling where I want them to, away from these interior towers that I might make mistakes about, and inside here, the towers don't cover, of course. Now, here they do as we stream inside, but, you know, that's a price we'll have to be willing to pay for glory and power. Alright, actually, these spots on the wall don't avail us too much. Because of how their position is. I'm like, yeah, turn around. Every now and then I'll look a little colder when there's archers on the wall. The Rage of Lu Bu is active once more! Biao!
我军士卒仓皇逃命。
Oh, actually, no, this tower does shoot internally, doesn't it? We really need to take care of that. This is the one that shoots inside, and all the other ones don't. The corner ones range in. Oh, we were so close to doing it right. I mean, ish. But, you know, we've got our archers on the wall. Wow, Chengpu, what? All right, we're fighting some kind of guys with anti-large or something in there. Anyway, wow, 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 my man gets tuned up. That must have been the Imperial Gate Guards, all right. Yeah, well, good news, guys. We found them.
一将受首。直管放箭，向前进军，鼓起勇气，赶快！杀光敌军！
You know, it's one thing when you're... There we go, when we get our ranged block. Excellent. It's one thing when you're in there with some infantry and stuff, but we were, I guess, totally just by ourselves sitting still. There's probably some cav involved, too. But here you have, like, classic siege warfare. Just a million people, a billion of them, all having a terrible time. Boom, but there's another big chunk of ranged block power. We're gonna hit a roar here, won't avail us too much, obviously.
哈！敌军士兵正在溃逃，做好准备，速速前进。
And right there, we're surrounded by Imperial Gate Guards again. We gotta watch out for that.
做好准备，冲！做好准备。 去。注意，准备好了，准备好冲锋了吗？
But the blob fight to end all blob
我方战
fights.
友正在遭受攻
And
击
there we go, right as our other
准备就绪，
healing thing goes away.
快点，加快速度，时机已至，不要留情。诛灭敌军，加快速度，快跑，上，切准备，伏兵在此，注意，做好准备，放箭。
敌军四散而逃，到底是无胆鼠辈。
加快速度，不要留情，冲啊！加速前进，进军，
And now we're gonna trick them by sending all of the cavalry to take the center.
站住！时机已至，赶快赶快！做好准备，
I don't think it's going to work. I think we're just gonna charge the middle of the blob, but that's okay.
听命！我坚如磐石，顽强不屈。
I think it'll actually work, yeah, because we're just gonna run right through them, ending up being the perfect command.
感受我的愤怒吧！
Lu Bu's been unhorsed. Well, you know, they probably thought that was a good idea.
四散而逃
But now the Rage of Lu Bu's there, and these gate guards aren't gonna have their
准备好了，
happiness much longer.
片甲不留，动作快点！
Yeah, we'll just push the cav through because we have so much cav, you know, and that's the great thing about where we're at. We took a battle that allowed us to play the way that we normally do, badly. Now, if I'd been doing it more deliberately, we would have, you know, cracked a hole in the wall and used all of the treb ammo against the crossbows because I would have undervalued how good these dang Imperial troops are. Man, do they ever not want to break, you know? But I mean, in fairness, it's not like they have done much to our very brave Imperial guards either.
听命！哈！敌军士兵正在溃逃。
And this is nice too because the emperorship is going to be delivered to the hand of Liu Bao from Qingpu, Caoren, and Lu Bu. So 3, you know, reputable figures from 3 reputable clans, not of our own, and who previously served other masters, who take the seat, and then rather than keep it for themselves, because they're such good guys and they work for me,
我等心怀忠贞才有此胜，现在来尽情庆贺吧！对他们严加处罚，恐怕颇为不易。
Emperor seat occupied.
动奔腾不息。
We are now the Kingdom of Chu. Nice to meet you. Yep, and now our objective is to conquer the Emperor seats there. And of course, yeah, our Emperor seat will ever be here in Wudu. But, you know, because I don't think you can move it. That's just the breaks. Of course, we'll have some fighting to be had up here, but...
快说，朕可没时间等你。
You know, negative 35 isn't that much of a negative.
很高兴与你见面。
In time, you may see it my way. But alright, awesome. And now our court has opened up. The minister of the Imperial clan should, of course, be Lady Sai. And rather than be the Minister of Justice, Liu Qi becomes, of course, over there. Now we need to think about, because these Grand Excellency positions, you know, some of these guys don't even really have bonuses from them, right? Like, he's the seeker of compromise, right? So we'll make him the Minister of Justice. Oh, I guess... Okay, so these aren't, like, Prime Minister equivalents still, though. Well, that's alright. Yeah, because you just get the thing there, so we can give it to someone whose satisfaction would improve, or, you know, to someone who deserves it. I mean, why not Liu Chong? The Prince of Chen. He's the leader of the volunteers, so we will make him the steward. This will be the supreme guy for law and political affairs, the grand excellency over the masses. Like, do we give it to the poet? No, the poet needs to be like the Minister of Ceremonies. You know, why not Liu Pan? No, I mean, because it doesn't really fit him. That's why not. You know, Qingzhu. He's, you know, he's been fighting alongside us for a while. There we go. Minister of the Imperial Household. Security for the family. Who better to be in charge of security? Like, she takes care of the guards and stuff, and then Guan Yu takes care of the immediate thing. The ceremonies we give to our boy. The poet with the greatest wife. Cao Ren, the representative there for the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Coach. You know him, you love him. And for the Herald of the Empire. No, I mean, should be somebody respectable. Why not him, right? There we go. The representative of the Sun family there. Yeah. Movement plus ammo. Crazy. So good. Anyway. Huzzah! The Imperial set up is sort of there, and now it's time to...
欢迎，请进。
They're like, yes, of course, I really want to be the vassal again. And we'll marry one of your house into, you know, the Sun family. So many people are so mad about this. Actually, a lot of our vassals really hate this. Well, probably because they declared themselves emperor and stuff. I mean, we're a reasonable guy. Actually, it really tanks a couple of the people that are around us. Let's not. Yeah, because, like, it puts us into the strong negatives with a couple. If we just...
很高兴见到足下。
Yeah, if all we do is get the cooperation, that'll be okay. Because it doesn't tank a lot of these people into, like, the strong negatives, just into the moderate ones.
"这很合理。 我方接受了。 真令人愉悦。 甚善。
But we are highly respected. She's strength rank 7? Man, how the mighty have fallen if she's strength rank 7. Zhang Liao gets here, so yeah. If there's a stronger, you know, we'll take it because it's a special skill, but, like, man, does it ever work, right? Liu Biao, Emperor. But, you know, we receive word that the Imperial seat has been captured, and Liu Biao's like, oh, kind of in the middle of something here, man. Hong Chong getting to level 8, very awesome. Qingzhou getting to Wisdom of the River, excellent, excellent. Just need to keep an eye out for cool guys. Ooh, this guy has an heirloom spear, and that means I have an heirloom spear. See the guy, so he gives pretty decent effects too. Oh, and he is a mending bandit dude. Which 5 melee evasion own army? I mean, the bottom line for bandit greens used the armor for spear infantry there, but I mean it's an okay change. Obviously, the capstones there are different, but you know, nothing like a steely gaze guy. Oh, he put on the G of Heavenly Mandate when we took away his other thing. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant, buddy. But now they're in just so much trouble because we've got the tempo here, as they say. That is as they say. And, you know, they're not getting back across this river. Sun Tzu's silly little army will see to that. Yep, that's much better. I guess the military supplies is very good there. Man, this game's so wonderful. I'm having the best time. Yeah, because now this is about to become a pretty safe area. Oh boy, is it ever. We need to get an administrator for up here, right? Get around to that somewhat later. We just need to... Yeah, I mean, if this is the Imperial City now, then I guess we gotta build it up. After all, it's where the good garrison is. And it may be that you don't get a lower replenishment rate for the guards there anymore. Speaking of, now that I'm the Emperor... I don't think it really changes anything that I get access to. Maybe even lower level people can get them? Let's see. don't really love this army being here. If Yuan and Yang doesn't get to be a part of this story soon, she's never going to get to be, right? But we could... She could go with Sun Ren, right? And that totally works. We were going to use Sun Ren just like a sort of strategist thing, but yeah, that totally works. Because if Liu Qi's going to get retired also, which he very well might be up here to go home with Liu Biao once this all goes, yeah, you know.
向前进军，
向前推进，憧憬
But
胜
of
利
course there we bring an absolute ton of people to bear and take very little
我军势
losses
力
on the
得以
people
扩张，
besides in the first army, which will be just
我
fine.
绝不动摇。
燃遍天下。我军如有天助，气焰大盛。我的激情更盛了。
Alright, and then...
开战！
Yep, it's just time to start busting up the Kingdom of Liang, and this is, I think, the southernmost place he's got.
诸位举杯相庆吧，这是我们应得的。
Depending on how you defined. Dude. You can get Qiang marauders and hunters out of this building. So all you gotta do, depending on what's... Maybe it's because I'm like the king up here that I get it. I'm not sure. But anyway, there are a billion things we can recruit because of this copper mine. And they're all pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, we need to get him a yellow dragon in here. The axe is very nice. And these guys, I mean, do you go to Onyx Dragon over them? I mean, probably yes. You lose the armor. I mean, maybe you don't, right? I feel like... Well, the Onyx Dragon has a lot more morale, right? And is... I mean, that's really what the difference is. And you lose a ton of armor. They're not much stronger. They don't have much more ammo. They don't have more ammo. They have the same range. Archers of Jing are busted, right? Is that bigger armor better than more morale, though? Well, if you're getting shot, I mean, what's hurting you? I feel like Archers of Jing are fine compared to Onyx Dragons, actually. And, yeah. They even shoot slightly slower. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we can just keep them. All right, right, the building has to build a turn before we can get him. I'm like, and then I guess we, because we can get Sun Ren up here when she gets a higher enough level, and then she can get all of the shock cavalry with the bows. I mean, we need to slow down and quit winning this game so that we can have a party. But I mean, how do we slow down and quit winning? I don't know how. Well, one way is to go to work, but that doesn't have to happen right now. Merely soon. Mighty knockback for the retinue, my man. Tenacity always worth. And you know, it's a good thing that we have so many vassals and that nobody is likely to take them from us, because man, oh man, are we ever not making money independently. You know, the corruption, it is considerable. You know, he's actually really close to accepting Confederation, so that means, yeah, we'll be able to make this vassalage work pretty easy, I think. I mean, no, that copper mine's too desirable to give away. Yeah, we'll just do the traditional offering of food. He doesn't need much, but we will be able to pay him off, certainly. And as always, you know, no matter what you're paying them, you basically make the money back. And this upsets our enemies and endears us to our friends. And Liu Chong, you know, and that's the other thing about the obvious legitimacy of this imperial thing here. Like, nobody knows where the emperor is, and everybody knows that Liu Biao is obviously the favored son of heaven. Right? Look no further than the bountiful lands. Look no further than the happy people. Have we ever suffered a rebellion, I ask you? Nay, I answer. We are the happiest boys. Sure, there's rampant corruption, but what are you gonna do? We have incredibly high satisfaction everywhere. I think it'll actually be worth it for Liu Chong to carry around the legalist fanatic now. Well, I mean character experience, though. Oh, and we've got... yeah, why not? This book of documents. Perfection. Oh, and we need to get him a good sword with good authority on it. For even higher satisfaction faction-wide. Faction. Like, how do you feel about getting a horse you don't deserve, Hong Chong? You know, we can give that. There's somebody else that will. Yeah, no, but there's plenty of people to give our fancy horses to. We need a Wuhan stallion here. I mean, why not, right? Yeah. She's a boss.
准备作战。
智略所指，我之所在。原地候命。
Alright, so if he lays in wait here, then we'll be able to get there if they try to come in. So we can... with this army, roll up here. They won't be able to get in the center there.
今日此战，乃是大义之胜。
And Zhongwen gets to fire arrows at last. Amazing. And we get Chiju noble bodyguards, so we're gonna have to see what they're like here in a second. Because hopefully they'll, like, move into this ambush and we'll be able to crunch them. Otherwise, you know, we've got these fools to... we got some northern troops and stuff. But, you know, Sun Tzu's army is not like slouches. We've got decent weapons and, you know, some interesting troops. Okay, Lady Zhurong. Nothing would make me happier than this. Give me my boy. If we get Delay out right on time, like, oh man. And it barely makes anybody mad. And it puts her almost to positives. And you know, she's a resolute warrior. But if we you know, we might oh, look at them, they made him so fun. Yeah, because if we get our boy, I mean, obviously we know we're not going to be able to get my beautiful, perfect girl descendant of the flames. Or probably not. And here we will vassalize the Han, the remnants of them.
老友来访，甚是欣慰。我方同意了。我方接受了。
你的提案不错。
甚善。
Because with Liu Chong under our umbrella here, that really does, I mean, like, that's all of our work done. Grabbing him. He was doing fine, and Lady Zhurong was the only thorn in his side, and now she is ours again. Wonderful stuff. he's no good vassal. Xi though.
有话快说。
Like we'll take one of your many children off of your hands. Naive beachcomber. Yeah, and he's so enamored of the idea that bam, we'll bind our houses, everybody likes us, and even Cao Cao is pleased with this event. Good stuff. Yeah, she's strength rank 7. I mean, I guess she does have several armies. Alright. Amazing. And now we're up to 61k out of the tributaries. You gotta love it. Like, can we... Yeah, no, you can't annex the non. Like, sometimes I think we should start handing out some of these to the vassals, right? Not Cao Cao, obviously. He's doing fine enough on his own. But alright. Wonderful. Lady Zhurong, being our vassal, is the best. Obviously, she might eventually break it, but if we get to pull the factionaire into our court, then that'll be the happiest of days.
我等此举，殊为荣耀。我等已达成目的。
And Shiji is just happy to be involved, right? I mean, it'd be pretty clear to anyone in China who's going to win this war at this point. I mean, sure, if there's like a player playing against me, they could probably beat me. Definitely beat me. But, you know. Meng Huo failed to unite the tribes, right? And he failed for a while. And then Zhonglu wants us to get into this fight. And this makes a lot of other people now really like us and think that we're awesome. Liu Pan, a new Liu Pan emerges, a child of Liu Qi, our beloved son, and Yuan Anyang, his beloved wife who has been away from him for some years. Don't worry about it. It works. We're just pushing up, just like everybody else, and we are gonna deal with this problem. There's still looters down here, which abstractly we should try to deal with, but...
路就在前方，集中精神。 我可没心情。朕就不该准你们觐见。有话快说，朕可没时间跟蠢货废话。
And, you know, he doesn't really want to work for us, but he's gonna. He hates us like a lot. He'll get over it. Everyone won't like this. I mean, he did declare himself emperor earlier, but that was he lived far enough away where we could have declared it a misunderstanding, right? Maybe he was like, I'm holding this instead for the Han Emperor, who will rightfully come back soon. And, of course, to bind our houses. I think this will actually make it not go through because he hates us. Yeah, well, you know, once he likes us. And now he doesn't have any wars except the ones that we're in.
吾等诚心提此议案。你我言语轻快如流。
那就如此吧。我方同意。又是你这厮！我方接受你的提议。
And although he just got into it too, you know, we're gonna vassalize him as well. Vassal ball achieved. We'll need to go up and pop the northern tribes, but that'll be much easier with all of these guys with us then, of course.
朕屈尊与你谈判，还不叩谢天恩？
But it's time to call the vassals to war!
与你一战，还是绰绰有余。
And now... now all these people who didn't have much else to do with their time are gonna have something to do with their time. Uphold the glorious nature of the Han.
快点！
We're gonna wait in ambush here. These guys are having a time, but you know, what's it worth to them?
稍事休息。
满怀信念。
Alright, time for some battles. We've got to save it. Alright, the time is 12:45 and all is well. We got plenty of time to achieve our dreams.
一鼓作气。
Oh, she makes the army considerably faster. That's around her anyway. Good stuff. The two Zhongs, which... Man. Makes his retinue very good. He doesn't have melee infantry, so they don't get that bonus. These are, you know, they melee, but they're not melee infantry. Well. Looks like it's time for a big ol' brawl. But we've got two fresh armies. We've got all the heavy hitters. Father and son. Beloved daughter-in-law. I mean, she's married to somebody, right? She's married to somebody that we care about, and that makes her close enough to a beloved daughter-in-law. And we rather want to do all of this at one time, you know, to devastate the foe and make them sad. Oh, look how messed... Zheng He is already almost in the dirt. Well, I would love to get the rule off of him because 20% melee evasion is so good. He's a great fighter, of course. He gets it done. But will he be able to stand up to the likes of Liu Qi? No, because he doesn't have any hit points. The dork. And we have, I mean, a ton of heavy cavalry in a big, beautiful open map with some trees. But we saw them in a flash that they were deployed over here, which, you know, good for them. And we're going to be able to rain down on them here. This is... I mean, I would prefer to go like so, right? Yeah. Now that we've got our amazing tower... Oh man, I'm so happy about the tower. But of course, these fools, by the time their reinforcements get here, they're already going to be thoroughly engaged. Oh, you want to go? Lady Liu, you want to duel? You want to duel the champion of the world? Very well, I accept. Man, she's gutsy, huh? What does she know that I don't know? I think she's just like, look, I'm sick of being here. These guys are dorks. Alright, we're getting shot up by crossbows for free. This is not great. This is not even good. We're gonna get away from it, though. Of course, Liu Qi absolutely deletes her. Of course he does. But the Trebs doing their work on the trebuchet. Alright, there we go. Yuan Shao, you want to go? We're gonna get Qin Gongsun here to help. The Vanguard crossbows, we're gonna get Liu Biao in there. This guy at least has huge armor, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, he does have Binding Fury. That might, you know, hit us and hurt a lot, but that's why we're running up for the support here. There we go. And with his armor reduced, of course, this very big damage is going to come through pretty clean. We're going to hit a roar here in the middle of a duel, which is awesome. And it's going to make all of these fools flee. We're going to get unhorsed charging into spears? No, we're going to avoid that fate somehow. Boom, Liu Chi gets another victory, and we're just going to come in here. Now, our cav is engaged with their cav most terribly. Let's get... in here. There we go. And now we get 100% melee evasion in the blob. Oh, we need to get back on our horse. And you know, we've been, you know, the thing about choosing a target is they'll shoot that target all right, but you know, sometimes after it's running away, you would prefer them to shoot a different target. But Zhong He here forgets the real rule, which is don't mess with the Emperor. And Liu Biao, feeling frisky in his old age, is like, no, you don't run away from me. How dare you? Oh, wow, the cataphracts here are stuck right in the middle of all their army. Not really where you want to be. Where's Liu Chi? Over here. That's good. That works. Okay, these guys don't need to circle there anymore. They can move in, and then here we're going to get into the center on this blob fight. Excellent. Trebuchets, of course. It'll be quite a while before they get up here. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Oh, these are... Liu Chi has been defeated. Where do we send him? Oh, in here. Well, you know... it makes our boys so mad. They can't believe how I blundered him into spears, probably. I assume it was spears. It's like the thing about our... Cav trying to get into the backline is there's such a big backline here, right? But there we go. We're gonna because the problem with this blob is we don't have any infantry fighting in it. It's just like heroes, and that's, you know, terrible. But I think we're going to make it break anyway. Because here, we just got to push through. So they got spears there, but that doesn't mean that they can, like, get us with them. And we're going to pull these guys around the back flank there. And when this blob cracks, of course, we're going to be able to go all the way in here. But, you know, this is the garrison plus the army plus the other army. You know, we didn't play it so good. I mean, Liu Chi got injured. But he'll get better. It just goes to show how you shouldn't run cavalry into ultra-heavy infantry like... the Vanguard Spearmen, because that's the thing, is the symbols are the same through the game, no matter what the quality of the troop is. So it's like, okay, yeah, some spear dudes, and then it's like, it's not just some spear dudes at all, actually. But Shen Gong is freaking out and doing, you know, very solid work with his sword and board there. And with a mighty rear charge, we come in here on the defenders of Bei, and with a mighty crossfire all the way across, everybody's trying to shoot at something, and that's good. But now we've got Jian Sword Guards fighting defenders of Bei. I'm pretty sure, or Yi Vanguard Spirit, they definitely win that fight, right? I think they definitely win that fight. Because we've got, you know, because we've got buffs. Oh yeah, and you know what would be good here? Shen Gong dropping a Wisdom of the River on him, because if you just do that, you know, but we see how in a Injustice Circle, it allows us to fight forever in this blob, and of course we know that we've got the most archer ammo. So, you know, there's lots of opportunities to play smart, but they did have a lot of troops on the battlefield, and we wanted to give battle quickly. And Liu Qi does win 2 duels before being defeated by, you know, hundreds of people. It's hardly shameful. Oh, and yeah, and there's still more of them showing up, of course. But that's right. After 10 minutes, these Trebs are going to show up, and then they're going to be like, what? Strategic Treb reserves? Outrageous! No, I imagine they're going to army loss before we even get at them. Yep. Glorious day. An awesome fight. And so here you see what your cavalry is capable of if you use them properly, because this is just one unit with 550 kills.
我军智略胜敌军一筹。看压他们。
But I guess we execute him. I mean, he is cool. We don't get the spear, but well, I mean, no, we release him because we're probably going to be able to force him to abdicate, and then we'll get the cool stuff. Yeah, and then off of this, we get to run in here. And pop him on the follow-up. Brutal stuff.
现在来尽情庆贺吧！
至柔如水，以应万变。不要分心。
All right, wonderful. Wunderbar. And Zuting would need to get into an army because she's awesome. You know, she's got Flower of the Battlefield. It's not like as strong, I think, So it was, but it's a 50-meter effect range, so I guess it affects everybody. So that's pretty good. And then of course she's got mending, so I mean, like, she's amazing. And Zhao Yun, you know, beats up here on Yuan Shao, but you know. Well, I guess. I mean, I guess that's that. I mean, we did defeat lots of his armies roundly, and now we're, yeah. Now he works for us. And everyone in his family works for us. Probably should have saved it first. Sometimes the game crashes on a big map shift like that. But there we go. The Kingdom of Song has fallen. And it's just the Kingdom of Chu up here now. And we inherit Yan Liang's weapon. Yes. Yep, just, you know, just a ton of dudes. And we are, of course, distantly related to all of them. Yuan Tan, unfavored son, sovereign of blades. What? He, of course, has 80 armor, which is incredibly good armor for a commander. I actually think there's something to be said for that guy, huh? So you're playing this game for more than a year. You're never highly respected. You mean like in diplomacy? The way to do highly respected is, I mean, unless you're trying not to be, is what you do is when you have more vassals, more people declaring them, and when you support them in the war declarations, you get a lot of support. And it also, of course, makes it easier to do things like what we did just then, forcing abdications and such. And now, you know, we're, I mean, that's China, right? We got, the Kingdom of Liang has fallen to us as a vassal. We're just gonna see what these fools are gonna do, right? Yeah, and yeah, time to work for me, bro. And then we just vassalize the north. You know, I fear we're about to win the game. It feels bad. I had so many plans. I had so many plans for the future, and it looks like we're about to win. But that is the problem with being a good guy. He doesn't want to be our vassal. We can totally make it work, though. Yeah, because we got territory up here we don't care about at all. Yeah, and you can be the Lord of Gu Pass. There you go. Oh, rejected peace. Well, it looks like we're at war up there, then. Because now our web of vassals extends, you know... the dark green is me, and the light green is everybody who works for me, including Lady Zhurong, my girl, talking about my girl, Lady Zhurong, Lady of the Flames. She's the coolest. But what we want to do now is... I mean, just keep on winning the game. Next year, the girls grow up, and they're going to be too low level to really even do anything. You know, that's the sadness in playing so quick. You know, we could have delayed it more, but alas. I guess we'll just win. After all, we can play again. It's okay to play more than one. I mean, I just had such big plans, right? For Sun Ren. I was so happy about getting her, and now we're like literally not going to be able to get her into an army at all. But, you know, that's the thing, is the dreams of what you want to do in a playthrough in this game can feed the next playthroughs. You know, You don't always get to do everything you want to
返
do.
回信念，奋力一战。
But now, I mean, and this, there was just a couple of years in between this happening and us absorbing literally everyone.
真令朕不悦。
But to be fair to Yuan Shao, he looked at our immense power and what he had instead and said, well, she is woman scorned. Legendary commander, call a defiance, which AoE negative morale and negative attack rate. Pretty cool. Decent armor. Lower satisfaction when she's around. What are you doing with the Celestial Sword, bro? How do y'all even have one of them? Alright, I guess they're just changing around the weapons for the other good weapons. That is what they do. Because sure, some people get there to keep their stuff, but like, you're the Yuan family, like, do you? I'm like, speaking of, where's he? Oh, he's just wounded. Got it. But yeah, I mean, amazing. Totally rocking it out. And now we just need to... Guardians of Hebei are pretty good, but... Need to figure out who has the really good retinues here.
秩序井然，则四海可定。
大人，悉听尊便，治行天下。
But yeah, we're just gonna drop a few of those retinues. I mean, probably all of these retinues.
大人，有何吩咐？
属下在此。
平定天下，心运良谋。
After all, everyone up here works for me.
大人召我，荣幸之。
有何吩咐？
荒芜之地令人不安，听凭吩咐。
准备行动。
门外何人？大人，有何贵干？
我的目标十分明确。
The horse place, yes. And we also get all of the mountains. Wow, the Black Mountain layer can't be removed except by the terms. 50% post-battle loot income. I mean, we get lower public order here and negative income, but I mean, I don't think that's faction-wide. I think that's just here. Awesome. And yeah, everywhere we've got this Yuan magistrate, I mean, it's, you know, decent. But, you know, things have never been so good for us, right? Almost too good. Making 25k a turn now. Just so much tributaries. Bye, Tama. Yes, it is day for me. I'm about to be going to work. But it's nice hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe we'll catch you later someday. But yeah, it's all about supporting your vassals. That's how you get that high respect. The RESPECT, which is so important. And now, the last thing to do would be go and invade Korea. Oh, and there's the horse lords. And the nonmen, but...
不如互通有无吧。就这么定了。如此一来，皆大欢喜。很高兴足下能够满意。
But yes, our magnificent web of vassalage avails us well. And these guys don't know where it's at yet, but they're about to. 11 p.m. view. Ah, well, hello from the other side of the world. It's so cool to be able to talk like this. Sun Long comes of age, Bao Shun comes of age, Ma Su comes of age. Zhang Shuya! Guan Yanping! And Shun Yu gives us the ability to invite Guo Xia here. Good stuff. Alright, do we want to make her stern or wise? Well, you know, we're going to help her fix it because, you know, why wouldn't we want her to be wise? And we could give her fiery. But, you know, why not make her better? Yeah, so she drank some of her dad's favorite wine. He'll get over it. And we get an exquisite weapon. Alright, well... I mean, it almost feels like some of these other weapons might be better, but it also feels like it is late. But we will figure out the future then. Because, I mean, right now,
有话快说。
I mean, sure, he's unscrupulous and stuff. I feel like... Nah, I mean, we'll just get rid of him.
"很荣幸再相见。 好，准了。
Like, where's the studio live? I'm sure I don't know. Well, he's somewhere. I thought he lived over here. Alright, well, wonderful. We are the Emperor of 2 Emperor seats. The characters in politics are here. And we, you know, if we just sat here and let our allies and vassals do all the talking at this point, I mean, I'm pretty sure we'd still win. But
竭力出击，为了天下大义，锐不可挡。
But yeah, because the girls are out. Of course, they are just level 1, which is not great at all. Especially if we want to put them all into the same army. But if we put them on assignment, you know, like how... When are they ever going to get to do anything? But that's the problem with playing fast, right? You know, if we waited till like 220 to kick off 3 Kingdoms era, if we could somehow do that, you know, then... We've done it, but I don't think we could have kept Yuan Shao. I mean, we could have. Maybe... We probably could have delayed like a long time if we just didn't get our prestige. Because we could have kept down the enemies who had it and so on. But, I mean, you don't want to delay just for the sake of it. Even though I really had ideas in my head about these great armies with the children of our heroes. But, you know, maybe we'll just... Maybe the dreams will have to be dreams for now. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Long live the Empire of Chu. Chu-Han. Will be called Chu-Han rather than Shu-Han, right? But anyway, that's all for right now, so see you guys later.